Hello and welcome to Runic Thor's Day. I did a very small video yesterday for Chatterwitch Wednesday, and I explained in that I have some really challenging life things going on. So I did manage to get the video up, and I'm doing the video today. So it is Wednesday today. So I'm videoing this for to pull up tomorrow. But I'm having a lot of very obviously I don't want to go into details of anything, but yeah, I've got some really life challenging. Well, it's not life threatening. Sounded a bit dramatic, life challenge, but some really emotional, horrible, just not nice stuff going on. And so I'm finding it hard to keep my energy up enough to do my normal things. And I spoke about this in the video yesterday, that this is the time to do that. And it's really interesting because I've started to prepare for the new half month, the new start of the year of the half months. And I think I said this in another video about how when the runes sort of seem to cross over. Now we sort of only just really gone into Dagaz, but already fehu, which is the first rune that we go into in the year, it's coming so powerful and so strong. And as you know, I work with art, and art is something that is a very strong part of my connection to my path, and it's certainly been that in the runes. And this is my fehu that came through. It's very simple, it's not like some dramatic painting, but it was so powerful as it came in, and I could really feel the flow of fehu. When I was doing the half months last year, and I think I've shown you this before, this beautiful fehu spirit came in, and I just love her. She's just amazing. But fehu's coming really strong and powerful, and I'm like, well, I think part of it is that I need the fehu energy with what is going on around me, and also because it's like preparing me for this new year. And what I've decided for a sort of the deep dive that I want to do with the runes in my mastery course this year is that I want to work with those half months, not my inner half months, the outers, that I'm going to literally do a deeper work with fehu, not the knowledge part, not the reading up and looking at what fehu means, but the feeling of fehu and the healing. And I'm going to do a lot of healing work this year with the runes. Sending the runes to people with my Reiki and things, and that there might be crystals added in, but it's definitely the healing path is going to be part of my runic practice this year. Now, I do healing all the time. It's not like it's separate, but I want to focus on it. I want to do the deep dive into it. So, and the other thing that I started in the mastery was my rune journals. And this is my fehu one. I don't know whether I've shown you it before, but so I made this one, and so basically the papers are in there. So I've sewn in my signatures. That's what they're called, the signatures. But I've started to add bits, and it will just get more and more decorated. I mean, this fehu laminated little card, I made that a long time ago before I even did the awakening program. This piece here is a felted piece, and I made that, but I stuck that in the inside cover because I love it. And then on here, I'm going to just write sort of maybe the keywords, you know, like wealth, cattle, movable wealth, life force, energy, and all of that. So, but I'm doing this page here, which is a bit further on. I've got my actual runic work. So I have fehu in 3 planets. So I have fehu in Venus, Frigg's chariot. I have fehu in Mars, Tyr's chariot. Oh, I nearly forgot then. And Jupiter, Thor's chariot. So quite powerful. And obviously that fehu is very different in each of those planets. There's different energies. And I think I've discussed this before. It's like, you know, you have this amazing diamond. Each rune is like this diamond, and it's got so many facets, and each time you turn it and each time a bit's been polished, and you work with the runes differently. Maggie interviewed me this morning for our hearth space place, and I think it's going to be going up on her channel, Maggie Rose, and I may be able to link it or put it in a playlist, or I think she might even send the recording, and I might be able to put it onto this channel. So it, you know, it's an interview about me and the runes and how I work with them and the differences in my eclectic work. So, you know, hopefully that I can get that up. But yeah, so the fehus come in, and I feel like I was very overwhelmed with the awakening program because it was amazing, and it was so full of that sage energy that you could learn about each rune, and there was all the poetic headers, the history of why that rune was this and that. And I'm much more practical, so like I can't wait to like be sending fehu to someone and see what they get, and you know, that's going to just be amazing. But I struggled in awakening because obviously each rune opened up when we were going into the new half month. So, and we discussed this last week, and I gave you the dates. So you only got that 2 weeks, and then like another one was opening up, and we'd be going into Uruz, and then Thurazaz was opening up, and it's like, whoa. And because it's all heady, because it's all sage knowledge, it's all going to be in your head. You then, you know, as you let all that sink in, as you let each rune initiate you, as you just let it reverberate through your soul, your being, and they sort of become integrated within your energy field and things. So then it takes on a new way. And in the awakening program, Maggie's got like the pathways, and there's like the pathway of the magician, the pathway of the seer, the pathway of the mystic, the pathway of the sage. I don't know whether I've forgotten one. The healer. I forgot the healer, and that's what I'm going to do this year. That was a bit daft, isn't it? So, and we all can use all of those pathways, and some of us might be more natural healers. And so that's our go-to thing. But most of us do start with the sage, because the sage is the part where you're learning, studying, gaining the information, and then it starts to integrate and turn into wisdom as you start working with them. Because remember, knowledge is fabulous, and it's great to have a lot of knowledge, but knowledge is not wisdom at all. Wisdom is made from the knowledge and the practicality and the using, and you alchemize it to become the wisdom. The wisdom comes. So like if I'm going to send healing and say, you know, I'm going to get feedback from like different people, and a few people in Mastery have already signed up to say yes, they would really love to work with me this year, collaborate with working with healing. So that's great. But each one of those person is going to feel it differently, because their relationship with fehu. So if you think, if I have 5 people that I'm going to send fehu to in that 2-week period of fehu over the half month, you know, different days, because I work with different days. So is it going to be different if I send fehu on a Thursday, which is a Jupiter day? Now I have fehu obviously as in my planet of Jupiter, and so and Jupiter's about expansion and things. So, you know, is that going to be different than sending fehu on a Monday, which is a moon day, Mani's chariot? Is there going to be a difference? Is there going to be a difference for just different people? Is there going to be a difference? Is it going to land in a mental state? Is someone going to receive the healing through their mental energy body? So it might help with some thinking, it might help them change their thinking in something, or, you know, work something out. Is it going to be on a physical level? Is it going to be on an emotional level? So this is going to be a real year of just exploration, discovery. I feel like Odin. I feel like I'm you know, taking out my eye and I'm putting it in Mimi's well, and I'm getting the knowledge, I'm drinking the mead. Yeah, I'm really, although I've got some challenging stuff around me, there's still parts of me that can be in that excitement, in that different space, because sometimes you just have to I can't say the word. Oh my God, I don't know how to say the word. How ridiculous is that? It's a bloody Wednesday. It's meant to be Odin's day. I'm meant to be able to use my voice properly. Oh, put into boxes. I don't know what the word is. Oh, I feel a bit of a pillock now, but I can't think of the word. I just, where you, no, it's not going to come. Anyway, so it's and the thing is, it's going to be a year of discovery and learning. So in a way, I'm sort of going back into the sage thing, because I'm going to be learning and understanding, and then maybe next year I can alchemize it into the wisdom part, because I'm going to know, you know, if someone says to me, oh, I'm having trouble with this, and I'm going to think, oh, I used fehu for that. That really, really, really works. And, you know, do you want me to do a little spell? Do you want me to send you a healing? You know, it's going to really broaden. And I can feel the excitement, and I can feel Odin. He's excited. He's behind me, and I can feel the hooves of his horse, you know, Sleipnir. I can feel like, well, let's get galloping and let's go. But yeah. But coming back down to earth, I'm going to do that with each rune. So I will be recording my results, and that, you know, what they're going to tell me. So I'll get together with the people that I'm going to be doing the healings with, and then, you know, and then I'll just pull it all together next year. Now, this was always my problem, and this was the problem with the awakening. I mean, if you can call it a problem, there was too much information. but there was, you know, and I'm glad there's too much information, because I can go back into that awakening course in 10 years time and I guarantee I will learn stuff I didn't know, because there's just layers of it. There's so much in there. And it's Friday at midnight is the last time to sign up for the awakening course if you want to, maginrose.com. So but anyway, so I will then be able to put everything together next year. And because the runes, you're constantly learning, and you get like different, I mean, we spoke about this a bit in the video today, that the interview I did with Maggie, and you end up with this really personal relationship with the runes, and it just keeps growing. It's like learning about your friend. Like you meet someone and you really click. That's what happened with me in the runes when we've eventually sort of, I gave in and said, yes, I will learn the Odin. And do you know, I mean, Perthrow came out this week for my rune of the week. I love Perthrow. I absolutely love Perthrow. It's the cauldron to me. It's the cauldron of alchemy. It's the unknown. It's that I love liminal spaces and time. So I love that dawn energy, that noon energy, that, you know, that twilight, dusk. I love that in between. I love the shore between the sea and the beach. That piece of liminal energy. It's like two different things, but it meets in the middle and it becomes its own actual thing. The hedgerows, you know, I call myself like an eclectic runic shamanic art witch, but I'm also like a hedgerowy, not in the I say a liminal witch. I love those in between times. It's got potential, and I think Perthrow holds this really amazing air of potentiality. But so does fehu, actually, though. Fehu holds that sort of energy, and it's that life force energy. But yeah, so each time a rune comes out, and you think you know them because you've learnt that sage knowledge, not sage wisdom, the sage knowledge, but then the wisdom comes in, because then suddenly you get some really bizarre, and you think, well, I've never seen that with a rune. But for me, with the runes, I also get it on every level of my being, so it makes sense. You know, it's like, it doesn't make sense to my logical mind. Well, fehu means wealth, so why would it come out as that? You know, why am I getting that? Why am I getting that picture? Why am I getting that word in my head? Why am I feeling this? You know, sometimes you get the really weirdest things, but you just know it's correct. Yeah, there is an amount of trust in yourself, you know, because some people say, oh, you're just making this stuff up. And sometimes it's so bizarre that you do sort of question, like, well, am I making this up? And then I feel like Odin's going, like, with his one eye, like, shut. It's like, it's like an exasperation, like, for goodness sake. I think there's some lovely memes sometimes on Facebook of, like, your spirit guides. They put up like a thing of your spirit guides going like, oh, you know, like this. And I feel that sometimes. I feel like spirit is like, Jesus, what the hell is she doing? She's like, and especially when you don't trust yourself, and you're not trusting what you're getting. you know, I think a lot of it is because people criticize people and people have judgments. So when you got someone, I've seen it, and I worked psychic fairs for a long time with a friend of mine, and we did healing, we did Reiki healing, and we sold crystals. And we noticed quite often the sort of very nasty side of spirituality, the judgment, especially with clairvoyance, and even some healers, like some healers against some healers, like we do way better healing than those. And it's like, I mean, me and my friend Nadine, we just didn't, it went over our heads because we just didn't see that. We didn't think, oh, I do Reiki, so I'm much better than that spiritual healer over there. You know, they're not doing whatever. We never ever felt like that about anyone. You know, like, well, I'm always in awe. Like, if someone can do something that I can't do, if so, you know, like, I'm not really clairvoyant in the way that I see a clairvoyant. So maybe even a clairvoyant might say, well, you actually are, but I don't see it like that. So I would just be in awe, you know, like of a clairvoyant getting, you know, my grandma through, or like, and saying stuff to me that you're like, well, that had to come from my grandma, because this lady doesn't know me. She would, where did she get it from? Or, you know, because she wouldn't have got it. So, but yeah, I've never been jealous of what people get. I've been in awe of what some people get. And for a time, it might have made me feel like maybe I wasn't getting, yeah, maybe not jealous, but maybe like, well, I don't get it like that. And I did notice that with the runes. You know, as we started the awakening, and different people will get different things. And I think I've told you, you know, like Amanda's amazing. She gets like all this, oh, she can write beautifully, you know. She puts it all down in paper. I can't do that. That's why a YouTube channel felt like it was the correct thing for me, because I can talk for England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, universe. So it's much easier for me to like talk than to write it down, because stuff comes in so fast for me. And you'll notice this, that stuff comes in so fast, I go off in a tangent, and then I can't get my way back, because I'm down the road, it's somewhere else. So trying to write that like that is, I just can't, it's not, I don't have the ability to get it down that fast. I can't do it. So yeah, being in awe of people is great, but you still have to almost stand back and be in awe of yourself. So your knowledge, your understanding is as precious, is as good, is as valuable as every single other person. And I did notice this on the awakening, on the second cohort. Some people at the beginning felt like, oh, you know, oh, Suzanne knows so much. And I didn't, because I was still new. But yes, I did know a bit more than they did, because they just started. But oh my God, now, you know, they've done a year. Whoa. And you've seen them grow, and the understanding. There's been some amazing, we've got our lovely Marco, who is sort of like Amanda. He can just write these, honestly, I read some of his stuff where it's connected with the rune, and it's just phenomenal. And that's the really great thing, especially about our little community, the half space. Everyone feels the preciousness, the uniqueness, the gift of everyone else. Now, maybe it is because it's the runes, because I haven't really noticed this sort of energy in any other spiritual arena that I've been in. When I was in the Reiki, the Reiki arena, there was jealousy. There was like, oh my God, well, they haven't done it right. And even I remember thinking, I spoke to someone who'd just done Reiki, and I was very new. I'd still, you know, was only at the beginning of my journey with it. And they said, oh, we did this. And I thought, well, that's not Reiki. And I then said, oh, did you do this? And they went, no. And I thought, well, that you should have learned that, because that was Reiki. It took me a while. And when I went into like the masters, then that's important, because you have to become non-judgmental. And obviously human beings can be judgmental. You have to really check yourself all the time. And I'm sure there are times where people think I'm judging, or I've said something that might come across judgy. And you know, luckily a lot of the time, if that does happen, I can catch myself and go, oh my God, and I would apologize, or you know, I don't beat myself up, because I do realize that I'm human, and that can still come through, because it's something humans learn to be and do. It's something that most societies have. You know, we judge that person having money, that person not having money. We judge this, we judge that. So it is, you know, and people have their own opinions, which is really quite a form of judgment, really. So it's hard to be non-judgmental, but you know, that's one of my core foundational principles, is to try and have non-judgment and non-attachment sort of energies, that I don't judge, but you know, I'm sure I have and stuff. I'm just gonna have a sip of tea. So yeah, so I've rambled on. I'm not quite sure what I've actually said, so it's quite amusing. So yeah, so I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to add in other stuff, but I'll probably obviously I won't talk about the healings, because that's a personal thing from you know, me and the person. But I will talk about the like experiences, and you know, the person felt like this really red energy with fehu, they saw the color red, because that's not a personal thing. So that, you know, I will be sharing that sort of thing, like I worked with fehu, and you know, there'll probably be people who judge, and they might say, well, I don't get that with fehu. But this is the point with like playing with the runes with a reverence and a trust, deep trust. I am not going to receive information or guidance or stuff that is not correct, because my energy, my intentions have already set that energy field to only receive that sort of energy in. So yeah, so really exciting. The other exciting thing is, I think if you've watched any other videos, look what I've got. So my runes turned up. So my lovely hand forged iron runes. Oh my God, they are, oh look, Ansu's, there's Odin. Oh my God, they're just, oh, honestly, the energy's fabulous, but I haven't used them, and I tell you for why. Because they want to go to Wayland Smithy. I need to go there, and I need to connect them in with the energy of place, because they are very keen as, obviously made in a forge, so obviously keen as energy, and they need to soak up that energy. Now, the reason I believe that I wanted a set of runes made by a blacksmith was because in the half space a couple of months ago, we worked with Wayland Smithy, and I live near Wayland Smithy. And recently, me and my husband were out driving, and we found a trackway And because we've got the Ridgeway everywhere around us here, if you know anything about Wiltshire, the Ridgeway, you know, goes to Stonehenge, Avebury. It just connects all these, you know, sacred places and stuff. It's very, I'm on a very, very powerful bit of land. You know, obviously, we've got the white horses in Wiltshire Valleys. Anyway, going to Wayland Smithy the normal way, which would be going to the White Horse at Uffington, is quite a trek, and I don't enjoy getting to Wayland Smithy. I can't tell you why. I don't know. But anyway, we were out driving and we found this strange, like, it's like a, so the road was going and then there was a path either side, and you know it's the Ridgeway because it's chalky ground, and you sort of, I don't know, you just get to know. But anyway, there was signs, the Ridgeway. And so we decided to walk up, and I wanted to go to the left. I had a real urge that it had to be the left side of the road. And we started walking and we came to like a woodland, and woodland is my place. So we walked through the woodland and we came out and there was a sign for Wayland Smithy. And I was like, no, that does not make sense. And hubby said, well, it must be, we must be near it because there wouldn't be a sign for it. And I said, but we're nowhere near the White Horse. We're like, we've gone like, it just didn't compute, and I'm really good at direction and things. So anyway, we walked and there it was, and I was like, oh my god. And then I realized I was coming in from this way, whereas normally when we come in from the White Horse, we're coming that way, coming sort of down. It's such a good walk. You know, I struggle with walking, like I've said, with my fibro and things like that. It's so easy, and there's some lovely big stones, a bit, they look a bit Avebury type stones. They're down on the ground, they're not like standing stones, and there's a few of them, so I could sit down. There was a couple of places in the woods that I could sit down on, like trees kind of falling down and things like that as well. So, and it's really, really simple, but for some reason the energy walking up to it that way, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, but it is much nicer. I mean, the other way is further, is longer, but it's not that. It's a really uncomfortable energy for me. I'm very, very, very sensitive to energies, and walking towards it it's almost like walking towards it that way seems the right way, like you're following people that would have walked it that way, whereas coming this way is not right, and maybe they never did come from that way. That feels a bit right, actually. I'm getting, yeah, that feels a bit right. So anyway, so I'm going to take them to Wayland Smithy when I can. Like I say, I've got stuff going on, so it's a bit difficult, but I didn't know whether to sort of try and do it round my birthday, because then that would unfortunately be after fehu, because I'm Uru's, so I'm the next rune. But I wondered whether that might be good to set it in with the Uru's energy, the raw power energy. I did think, do I leave it till we go into Kinaz, because then that's, but I think the sun rune and my birthday and that, I think that might be right, but it might end up before that. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to do a little ritual, just connecting with the land, connecting with place, connecting with Wayland Smithy, because when we did Wayland in the thing, he just came in so strong for me. He seems like he's quite a guide for me with the runes, and it makes sense, because my first thread in my runic astrology is Kinaz, and I'm a Leo, I'm a fire sign, I'm a double fire sign in Chinese astrology, so I'm a fire horse. So I have a lot of fire, and creating is my main thing. So yeah, I think I've always fancied doing blacksmithing actually, but I think I'd be scared of getting burnt and it'd be too hot, wouldn't it, really? So I'll leave that to the professionals. But yeah, they're absolutely beautiful. Tom did a great job. His name is Tom Holden, and he is on, is it Holden or Holder? I can't remember. And he's not on Amazon. He's a blacksmith in Bristol. You know, he would love to make more runes. So if anyone wants a set of runes, the same, you know, same sort of thing, he'd be really over the moon to do them. He put, I mean, such love in it. I mean, look at Dagars. We're in Dagars now. I mean, look, I don't know. And I asked him to make them so that they look like maybe I just dug them out the ground and they've been in the ground for 1,000 years. And they're just, I love the feel of them. Honestly, the feel is amazing. So I'm going to go and charge them up at Wayland Smithy, and then I'm going to really start to use them this year. Now, the point that I tried to make, and I've gone off and round the houses 1,000 times, is that don't try and rush with the runes. You know, I was panicking. I was so like, I've got to learn it, I've got to learn it now. And I was so scared that if I didn't learn everything of fehu in that half month of fehu, almost like, well, I couldn't learn it, yet we come round to fehu again next year. And it's like it's too long to wait till next year. And you don't have to do them in the half months. You know, we've got Dagar's energy now, lovely. But, you know, you can do Dagar's in Isa, you can do Dagar's in Hagalaz. You know, if you pick the rune for the week, and it's not the same, is it, as maybe your half months. So you can work with the runes any way you want. You know, unless Odin says there's a rule, and Odin says there aren't rules, unless there may be Odin's rules, then he would say, I don't know. But there aren't no rules. Follow your heart, follow your trust in you are as unique, as fabulous, as special, as gifted, as full of wisdom as every single other person on the planet, even when you don't feel like it, even when you feel you hardly know anything. That's fine. That keeps you grounded. That helps with ego-based personalities, you know, where your ego takes over. You know, it's okay to believe that you don't know all the answers, because you actually don't. Will you ever all know all the answers? No, never. In 1,000 lifetimes? No, never. So, but you know what you know, and you can grow with what you know, and you can expand. So just trust, really trust, feel with your heart, and, you know, go, or your gut. Some people work more with their gut, don't they? So, you know, I'm heart-based more, and I'm a feeling person. I sense and feel. I do have a bit of auditory and stuff. I don't see in a clairvoyant sense. I do see, but not as I would understand a clairvoyant sees. But I'm happy with, you know, my superpowers because they're mine and they're unique and they're me, and I'm not jealous that you've got other superpowers. I'm excited you've got other superpowers. I want to know your superpowers. I want to get to know you and find out yours, and then you can share and collaborate, and it's just how it should be, really. You know, we're not all gonna work in the same way. We're not all gonna have the same thing. I mean, if you look at the people that were on my mastery, you know, we all did things. I mean, we had Amanda, she's worked with the body and anatomy and the flower essences, and she's worked with the runes in that way, came up with really fabulous stuff. Laura's doing all her stuff and did like a clothesline, and she's an amazing artist in Glastonbury, and she does lots of other stuff, and she's got a YouTube channel if you want to go and look up Laura Dallaghan. She's amazing, real magical being, just awesome. And Felicity, you know, she's doing her rondel runes, which are spectacular. You know, I'd done lots of art and, you know, started my journals, made my fehu, you know, did pictures, and started my YouTube channel and things. So the runes help with every single part of your life, and help you do all sorts of things. They're guardians, they're friends, they're allies, they're wisdom keepers, they're holders of energy, and they're just superb, and I love them. Yeah, so I'm going to go because we're now 41 minutes. I didn't want to talk this long, but I think I got excited, didn't I? Yeah, I feel really excited. I feel this birth throe. It's like the cauldron's bubbling, and also when we're in Degas, and especially I think the next day of summer solstice, or like the day, like, I mean, some people celebrate the 21st, and some people the 22nd. I'm the 21st. I do the, you know, winter solstice 21st, summer solstice 21st, equinoxes, you know, the same. I stick with my, you know, that I do. I always do in bulk at the 1st of Feb. You know, I just, that's how I follow it. Samhain, I always do the 31st, and that's the start of my new year. But yeah, so I feel like because Degas is the rune of the day, but it's like this gateway rune, and this, like, you know, that point in that middle bit is like the potential. It's got this, and that's how I'm feeling. There's this potential building, there's this excitement, exuberance, bubbling, the cauldron's bubbling away. It's just happening. So yeah, so that's me for today. So this is Runic Thor's Day. I'm Sue's Crystal Wolf, Suzanne Slade. This is my channel, Crowfire Talk. Hopefully you enjoy the video. I have like my Facebook group, Crowfire Talk. Yeah, so yeah, just if you want to send me a message, gratefully received. If you want to chat about something, great. I'll see you in the next one. Love and blessings. Have a great weekend, and yeah, bye.